Um jogador de LoL fez o impossível. Ele conseguiu fazer combos de Fiora tão rápido, mas tão rápido, que talvez os recordes dele nunca sejam quebrados. Você vai ver cancelamento de animações, reposição do campeão durante habilidades e também o uso de muitos itens duvidosos. Tudo isso para tentar ativar o ultimate da Fiora o mais rápido possível. Agora, eu não jogo de Fiora e as explicações são meio rápidas, então eu vou te passar a base dos combos antes. Na passiva da Fiora a gente tem um sistema de marcas que coloca uma marcação no adversário. Se eu causo um auto-ataque eu ganho velocidade de movimento, curo um pouco e causo dano verdadeiro baseado na vida máxima do alvo. Ou seja, é bastante dano. Para ativar ela basta dar um auto-ataque, mas eu posso ativar também de outras formas, como por exemplo dando um Q nela, que eu dou um dash e um auto-ataque. O W é ripostar uma habilidade defensiva que basicamente não vai ser utilizado para os combos. Agora o E, que chama esgrima, é importante sim você entender como funciona. Basicamente os nossos próximos 2 auto-ataques são muito mais rápidos, possibilitando ativar as marcas bem mais rápido que o normal. Por exemplo, se eu ativo o meu E, dou um auto-ataque aqui e flash pro outro lado, eu consigo na sequência já chegar, causando um auto-ataque bem mais rápido. O nosso ultimate coloca 4 marcas do adversário. Se eu ativo todas elas, eu vou dar bastante dano e na sequência também vai ativar uma cura em área aqui, que vai vir pra mim e pro meu time. Agora, usando dessas habilidades e 11 anos depois do seu lançamento, você vai ver como o jogador de LoL conseguiu fazer o impossível jogando de Fiora. O vídeo original foi gravado em inglês, então aqui embaixo vai ficar passando uma legenda em português gerada automaticamente pelo Google. Então você já sabe, né? Vai ter umas palavras esquisitas, algumas que não existem, né? Mas dá pra entender.
Fiora's ultimate. It's one of those abilities that completely change the game once you use it. For a brief moment it's only you and those 4 shiny vitals you wanna proc. Your average Fiora will do it in 4 or 5 seconds. With a bit more practice, it will go down to 3.
5
But it's only
segundos.
the best Fiora players in the world that are able to do it so fast that enemies can't even react. I wanted to become one of those players and this is how I did it so fast. No one will ever
Tá,
beat.
em média as pessoas fazem esse combo em 5
When
segundos.
you use Fiora's ult, 4 vitals appear around an enemy. Each vital does a lot of damage, and if you manage to proc them all, you and your team will be healed over time.
Tá,
My
certo, isso a
goal?
gente viu.
To proc them as fast as possible. There are a few ways to proc vitals. First, you can use a standard auto attack. If you were to use only those, you'd be able to proc all vitals in 3 seconds. The quickest ult proc I found was done in 0.75 seconds, so I have a long way to go. You can also proc vitals using
0.7 o
Q.
cara fez.
It's a little dash that deals damage to a nearby enemy at the end of it. Adding it to our combo reduces it by a whole second. Now let's add D. It allows you to attack 2 times almost instantly. And Flash, it makes your champion blink to a targeted location. Combine those to proc 2 vitals in 0.1 seconds.
Tá muito rápido. 2 auto-ataques em
And lastly,
0.1.
you can add Gold Drinker, an item that deals damage around you, to proc the last vital.
Eita,
With
começou,
all of that,
gente.
we have
Usar
a
os
combo
itens.
that when done perfectly will take 0.7 seconds, only 0.05 of a second faster than the record. So there is nothing left but to start trying and hope for the best. First few attempts were, well, not ideal. I was struggling to do even the first part of the combo, and after 10 games and not a single good try, I realized it's gonna be a lot harder than I thought. But with time, not only did my combos improve, but my Fiora gameplay was getting better and better. And finally, after 15 games, I did the first decent combo.
Boa, vamos ver.
Ooh, okay, nice.
Nossa, 1.38, cara. Já tá muito
So I
rápido, hein?
kept playing, and I soon started getting good tries each game. Okay, it's going really well. I'm sure I'm
Cara,
gonna
tá ficando bom,
next
hein?
few games, right? Well, the games went by, and I didn't see much improvements. With each game and each close try, I had less motivation, and after 40 games, I was considering leaving this project altogether. My idea was to get below half a second, but after all this time, the fastest I did it was a bit above 1 second. I had to change something. And it turns out there are a few other ways to proc vitals. After some experimenting, I chose 2 combos. I was gonna
Mas vem a
try
garra do espreitador,
both
gente.
a lot
Sempre ela.
faster than what I did before. First, using Prowler's Claw. It's an item league that allows you to dash to a targeted champion. And what matters the most, it procs one of the vitals. Combining this with what I've learned before, I got this combo.
Cara, muito rápido, hein?
Other
0.6, já
idea
quebra o
was this
recorde.
smite. This combo is a lot harder, but it's actually a bit faster than the first one. Prepared for another long grind, I played 4 games, trying the first combo without any decent attempts. But then, completely out of nowhere, I somehow did this. What?
Nossa, muito rápido, tirou muita vida do set, hein?
This time, luck was on my side, and it took me only 5 games.
Acho que o set ajudou porque ele tá muito lento aí, ó. Tá quase parado.
Well, that was quite easy. I think I'm gonna go for a faster one. I had one idea left. Smite combo. It is a lot harder, but even perfectly, it will be faster. So as usual, I did the combo for an hour in practice tool and started trying. This time, I immediately started getting good tries. I was getting really consistent really fast. The first part of the combo was the thing that my hands just did and I didn't really need to think about it. The last thing on my mind was smite and hitting it at the right moment, but it's easier said than done. Almost every try, I procced 3 vitals perfectly, but I either didn't use smite or I completely missed the timing. I played 15 games, and it slowly started looking like the first combo all over again. I even got this combo that missed Q just by a few pixels. So I kept playing and I kept missing the combo. I even tried looking for some other, easier combos, but there was nothing I could find. So there was just me, and this one impossible combo. This time I couldn't give up, and I played, and played, and played. And about a week and 40 games later, I did this. After doing it, I thought I'm done.
O Jax tá 2 níveis de vantagem na Fiora, tá?
I could do. So I moved to the last part of the project, but unfortunately for me, this wasn't the case. Turns out there is a combo I could do that's even faster. But for some reason,
mais rápido ainda?
it took me another week to realize that. The combo I'm talking about uses Gale Force, and in practice too, I was able to do it in 0.3 seconds. Do I try it now, or do I leave it? Well, of course I had to try. On the surface, this combo seems quite easy. You only need to press 3 buttons and that's it.
Só 3 botões.
By far the hardest one I've done. Let me explain. Gale Force is an item that makes you dash. It also deals damage to a nearest enemy. It's kind of hard to see, but it fires 3 bolts that deal damage. With right movement and timing, you can actually proc 3 vitals with 3
Mentira, cara.
projectiles.
Dá pra ativar 3 vitais com a ativa. LOL.
Is already difficult, but pulling enough on a moving target seemed close to impossible. With nothing to lose, I started attempting
Deve ser muito difícil quando o cara tá sem movimento.
At this point, I played like 80 games to do the previous combo, so there really wasn't much motivation left. I played 5 games, and it wasn't even close. Most of my attempts didn't even look like I was going for the combo. So I quit. At least for a few weeks. I tried to focus on different projects, but this Fiora combo was still in the back of my mind. So a week later, I decided to play a single game. I wasn't expecting much, but maybe, just maybe, I could get it this time. And then, completely out of nowhere, I did this.
Cara, 0,35. Mais uma vez em um alvo que tá se movendo muito devagar, certo? Espero que ele tenha percebido esse padrão, né?
This record would be very hard to beat, but it's certainly not unbeatable. With a bit more luck or skill, someone could easily beat me by a few hundredths of a second. So let's get a record that is actually unbeatable. Most of the clips
que
of
isso,
other
cara?
records today
Cara,
to,
de redenção, malandro.
Try out your combos without any limitations. The current world record stands at 0.2 seconds, which is very impressive.
0.2, tá.
And God Drinker to proc all vitals almost instantly, but I knew I could do better. My idea was to use Redemption, a support item that deals damage 2.5 seconds after you cast it. It turned out that timing Redemption was so difficult, I had to use an actual metronome to get consistent.
Meu Deus do
so
céu.
I sat there for hours.
Olha o nível do cara.
And created what I thought was the fastest combo. I won't explain the whole process because it's extremely boring, but I can tell you how it felt. After a few hours of research, I opened up the practice tool with a new plan. Without any idea if it's gonna work, I tried it for a few hours. Most of the time moving my cursor pixel by pixel for a perfect setup. I would do it for a few hours and realize, oh, that might actually be impossible. So I thought about a better, faster idea. And did all of that again. And then again and again. I've spent about 20 hours figuring out the best setup that could actually work. And this is
Imagina você vai jogar LoL e a Fiora do seu time tá com smite e redenção, gente.
I tried that with bots, but they're completely unpredictable. So I came up with a better idea. On Summon Swift, there is a dragon. And if you attack him, he slightly knockbacks everything around him, and with careful placement, he would move my target but not Fiora. This was my perfect setup. In my first 2 hours, I didn't proc all vitals a single time. At this point, it felt like my practice didn't even matter. Each time I did my setup, waited 2 seconds for redemption, and then pressed all 5 buttons at the same time. After 4 hours, I had a few very close tries.
O cara se rendeu a apertar todos os botões ao mesmo tempo.
Out of reach. An hour later, I had my first good try.
Meu Deus, 0.17.
I could eventually do it.
Ele já quebrou o recorde, ele continua indo. Não é possível, ele vai fazer mais rápido ainda, cara.
And finally, after 10 hours
Não é
of
possível,
practice,
ele fez.
I did this. Yes, that's
Meu
it.
Deus.
A perfect Fiora combo.
0.1. E esse é o novo recorde mundial do Ultimate da Fiora. Se você gostou desse vídeo, deixa o like e não deixe de conferir também o vídeo original, tá na descrição. Tchau!